The theme that I chose for our mission is the same words that are used by the vision statement for the Archdiocese. A vision statement that was arrived at through a whole number of listening sessions last year involving people throughout the Archdiocese who participated. Everybody was invited, but obviously not everybody goes to those things, but we had a great number of people in the different listening sessions that took place. And the consultants led them through a process whereby they were able to feed back to them their thoughts about life in the Catholic Church here in the Archdiocese of Omaha. And then the committee of people in our diocese that were put together to help form that vision statement took that entire piece of information, all that input, and they came up with the new vision statement for the diocese. I think it's a beautiful one. It's short, it's catchy, it's filled with hope. One church, encountering Jesus, equipping disciples, living mercy. I think the reading today from the Gospel, the story about the Samaritan Woman, really gives us an insight into all three of those phrases. The Samaritan woman was probably a banned woman in her community because of her living with 5 different men, I guess. Scripture scholars tell us that, well, here she comes to this well at noon. That wasn't the normal time to come for water. It was a usual kind of thing to be done early in the morning when it was cool. And that's usually where the women gathered, was by the well, so they could pass on information that they might have heard in the community and have a little visit and pick up their jug and fill it with water and bring it home. But she probably found great hatred and prejudice from the people in her community to go to the common well in Sychar, and so she walked outside the village to this other well, picking up her water there at Jacob's well. It reminds me in this story about other places where a man and a woman met at a well. Jacob and Rebekah met at a well in Haran, and Moses and Zipporah met at a well in Midian. These places of rendezvous, they become a rendezvous point also for Jesus and this Samaritan woman. In the process of the conversation, the Samaritan woman goes through a kind of faith journey. As first of all, she sees him as just a man and a Jew. You know, who are you to speak to me? You don't get along with Samaritans, and we don't get along with Jews. Why would we have anything in common? And then Jesus is the prophet for her, because he's the one that now starts to tell her all sorts of things about herself. But once he says that to her, she wants to kind of pull away, and she just starts talking about religion. You worship on this mountain, and we worship in Jerusalem, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to talk about these problems, these personal things. But then there comes this acclamation at the end of the story where Jesus is seen to be the Savior. Or she says it to them, in which he brings the news to the people of the town. Come and see this man. Could he possibly be the Christ? He told me everything about my life. It's interesting that the woman left her job to go tell these people in the town about what she had found. She forgot her physical needs. She forgot what she came to the well for. She found something much more important. She left behind her water jar, and she went to tell others what she had found. Perhaps this is the one that was going to actually fill the thirst that she was looking for. Maybe he was the one who revealed to her that indeed, what were you looking for with all these men in your life? Aren't you looking for the wrong place? I am the one who can give you what you need. I'm the one who can give you that living water. And so in this story, she encounters Jesus. And in this story, Jesus equips her to be a disciple. And in this story, he tells her what it means to be merciful and demonstrates it to her by his acceptance of her. She lives out that vision statement, encountering Jesus, equipping disciples, and living mercy. She runs into the village to become what we would call an apostle, because she comes with good news to tell others about it. Come and see the man. Come and see him. Could he be our Messiah? He told me everything about myself and everything that I had done. But in the end, we cannot believe because of something that someone else tells us. We have to believe because of what we hear ourselves. We have to come to our own faith. We have to be converted in our own right. Just as those people said to her at the end, we no longer believe because of what you told us. We now believe because of what we have heard. Sunday night, Father Greg Lecker's talk will be about encountering Jesus. And on Monday night, Father Jeremy Hans's talk will be about equipping disciples. And on Tuesday night, Father Kiger's talk will be on living mercy. He just got back from a mission trip in Belize. And so when I got a text message from him, I texted him back and I said, well, I guess you're going to have a lot of fodder for us in terms of living mercy since you're down there working with the poor. You know, everybody is talking about Burnell and how he's doing, our local grocer. And he's doing pretty well, actually. He's come through a lot of stuff, 2 surgeries and all that, and seems to be doing well in the last text message I got from Alicia. But what's interesting is he sent a message back, and he said he really, really wanted to go to the Eucharistic Miracles exhibition. He's really looking forward to it. And he was figuring that he'd be able to get out of the hospital to get here for it. And that would have been the case had it not been for a second surgery. And so he said, his message was he offered up his disappointment so that others would pick up the slack and get over there and walk through the exhibition. So he's thinking about us, and he's, in a sense, by his action, living mercy for us. We begin our adoration time tomorrow after the 10:30 Mass. The Eucharistic Miracles exhibition going on and our different prayer services in the evening. I hope you all enter into this and truly make this a great mission for ourselves, for our parish. And I thank all those that have been working very hard to put out all the word to us and advertising it and talking about it and inviting others. As we've been saying our prayer for the past few Sundays, you know, we ask the Lord to clear our schedules and also to give us the courage to invite others to come to the mission.